Love and peace and happiness. In the past, in this situation, somebody was using their power. It remains to be seen if they were using their power in an upright way or in a manipulative way. Some of you did experience a person who tried to manipulate the energy, a person who tried to manipulate you. But even where that was true, you had all the abilities, the tools, and the skills necessary in order to safeguard your own purpose. I heard your own soul, your own life, and your own goals. In the current energy, there is an ending here. The situation is transforming. Okay, there's an understanding that has been reached, which means there's no more reason to question anything. The hidden blessing in this is there is wish fulfillment that comes as a result of this situation. Anywhere where this situation showed a person what they didn't want, that helped them to deduce what they did want and to lean in that direction. The challenge in this is to know who to work with and to keep a cooperative heart. In other words, once you've been through so many difficult situations with difficult ones who present challenges and stuff, there's a tendency for humans to want to close down, avoid, go into their hermit mode and just stay by theirself instead of keep their energy open, receptive, and cooperative to what's happening. And there also in this situation could be challenges as far as how do I work with this experience? How do I benefit from this energy? How do I utilize it for my best? Okay. And somebody in your environment is really focused on what was. Okay. They're stuck in the past. They are remembering the good times, having a lot of memories of what was. The best thing you can do is stand your ground, stay in your authority, and remember that everything has consequences. And anywhere where you remember your past, they're saying don't get caught up in the rose-colored glasses, because sometimes when you look back to what was, you think to yourself of only the good times. They're like, you have to remember the experience as a whole. They want you to remember the experience as a whole, okay? Because at the end of the day, the cycle is complete about anywhere where this situation is ending. It's like you took the blessings out of it and you took the wisdom out of it, and all of those things will work together to enable you to attain that wish fulfillment. The wish fulfillment actually does show up for you in a physical, very real, tangible way. And that's what is in the future for you in this experience. Wow, 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck is telling me that there's definitely been a completing of a cycle. There were some things that needed to be complete, and there was some soul agreement in this between you and whoever was on the other side of the table. There was an agreement to fulfill an experience. Okay, the experience had to happen on both sides of the table. Anywhere where somebody here was learning the lesson of the consequences of trying to manipulate other people, that's been taught. Anywhere where there was somebody here learning the consequences of giving their power away to another person, that's been taught. Anywhere where a person here has been learning the empowerment they have, the readiness, the skills, the strength, and the abilities they have to overcome any challenge that came their way, that's been taught. It has been learned. We have 3 10s on the table. So this is all by divine orchestration, right? And the only major arcanas in our 7-card spread here are the Magician and the Emperor, which is about having the ability to influence change and using your authority and your power in a responsible way, in a way that holds yourself accountable, knowing that you have the responsible. What do they say? Heavy is the weight. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Yeah. There is a weight to respond and responsibility to having power. If it's used in an abusive way, that energy will come back on the one who does that. Okay. And then if it's used in a responsible way, then that energy will protect and bless the one that used their energy in an upright, responsible way. Okay. In a way of benevolence. If you've been put in a position of power, it's not so you can abuse, it's so that you can be wise in what you do. Yeah. I see that you have already made a decision. I see that you have decided that a separation was necessary. I see that this caused a major shock and awe. Somebody didn't think that you were going to put these boundaries down. Somebody didn't think that. The thing of it was, so you could see that the situation, the connection between the two of you was headed down a slippery slope, and you decided, rather than to go all the way down it, you decided to go ahead and choose self-love. You were spiritually guided in this decision. It wasn't a decision taken lightly. You knew that there would be consequences and repercussions for your decision, so you made it very wisely. Yeah, and you know that the decision you made is not going to be pleasant to whoever's on the other side. I mean, once they get a taste of this energy that you're bringing to the table, once they get a taste of the experience in your environment, yeah, it can be difficult to be removed from that. But you are knowing that you have the spiritual authority in this. You have the ability to have long vision. In other words, you can see the big picture and you can see what's further. And although this person had love for you, it's like you had a different level of strength. You had a different capacity of love. You had a different interesting. Okay. Yeah, you had a different outlook on it. And this person's idea of love had some falseness in it. Okay. So they had some ideas about what love meant that weren't exactly true. They weren't in alignment with the universe. There are some ideas that somebody had about controlling another person. There was ideas they had about love that were not based on truth. And so change had to happen, right? Change had to happen. And you're aware that that's part of what brought you into this experience, was so that this change could happen. Yeah. You could see different sides of the experience in this connection, where the other person had a very limited point of view. There was also energy in this about the way, again, the way the power is used, the way intention was used, and trying to get people to do what you want, right? And so I see that although you're letting go, you're doing it so progress can be made. Okay, to remove stagnancy. As long as you stay locked in with the situation, it was going to cause stagnancy. It was going to cause delays. There would be a sacrifice of, I heard, who and what you truly are staying in the situation, right? And so the other person, they have some subconscious patterns in this situation, fears and worries about what was, about their past, coming from their past. Yeah. And so this situation presented because between what you've got going on and what they've got going on, solutions could become more evident. Yeah, that's what they said. Solutions could become more evident. This connection was about closing down the use of, I heard, illegal force. Illegal, it's like abuse of power, illegal force in the lives of others, trying to manipulate and force people to do, like, you will do what I say. That's the vibe. Yeah, it was that. And so now the truth is spoken, right? The truth is become made aware. And so they're like, remember the truth, remember your truth, remember that this person's truth is not the same as yours. I just heard, remember that this person's truth is not the same as yours. Don't expect it to be. At the end of the day, you are successful in this because you move to the tune of your own beat, and you remember who you are, and you don't allow somebody to dictate who you must be and how you must be. Yeah. Now I heard the onus rests on the other person. The person, the buck rests with the other person. It's the other person's turn. Like they have difficulties, they have challenges that they need to overcome. Okay, they need to learn to obey the signs and signals of the universe. Yeah, because somebody here, like, whatever was said, it was a jab. It's like you gave them an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual uppercut with the truth that was spoken, that they didn't want to accept, that they did not want to see it, right? And so choice has been made, and somebody shot their shot. A person shot their shot. Okay. And then now there's some sort of distance that makes this person think about the shot that they shot. They're like paying attention. I didn't pay attention to the weather. The wind was blowing. I didn't think about that. Okay. And as a result, because of the way that they moved, the way that they maneuvered, the way that they behaved in this, they realizing like they self-sabotage in some sort of way, like there's something sitting on their head, and it's like they need to clean up their thinking. Okay, they need to clean up their thinking. Yeah. This isn't exactly the way you wanted it to go, but part of the thing was they wanted you to be in sorrow. They wanted you to feel alone, lost, lonely, sad. Somebody here even wanted you to be depressed. They tried to do something to manipulate you to feeling depressed, right? And the thing about it is, this has worked with other people before they came across you. This has worked in other people's energy repeatedly for them. This has been their method of operation for a while. They've done this before. Yeah, they're like, well, it always worked before, so let me do it again. And what they didn't know was they were coming up against somebody who had, yeah, and I just saw it, yeah, the magician. Yeah, I literally saw it. They didn't know they were coming up against somebody who had their own power, who stood in their power, who was aware of what they are. See, a lot of people don't have awareness of who and what they are, and so that makes them easy to manipulate. And in this instance, they might have thought that you were that. And then I'm hearing, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, right? This person is going to get a lesson in this. The fact is, this connection was allowed to happen so that this person could get a lesson about, consequences of actions. Like every action has a reaction, right? And they've been in an energy where the actions that they've taken, they didn't have to see consequences, because whoever they were taking these actions against in the past was not any wiser. But now you are wiser, and so you let go of this situation, but they can't stop thinking about it. They're sitting in an energy of obsession right now, and they're really confused. Part of the reason they're obsessed and focusing so much on this experience and even on you is because it's worked out so much in the past, right? They're like, it always worked before, and they're trying to figure out why it didn't work with you. And I hear it's because of the innocence in you. Like you don't do things to try to wish people harm, and you didn't do anything in this to try to wish anybody to go through anything difficult. But they are going through difficult. Why? Because the same energy that they tried to throw at you of trying to get you sad, depressed, feeling down and out is exactly what they're living, right? And at the end of the day, it's like you've protected your energy. And anywhere where you still have access to this one, I see that you will make the move to protect your energy. Yeah, you have courage, you have determination, you know how to defend yourself spiritually, emotionally, psychically. Yeah, all of that is necessary, and you have definitely closed out the cycle. It's like you're going back to what really matters, going back to what's really you. Yeah, this person is not getting like they're getting back what they put out, but they're not liking what they're getting, and they're not getting from you what they came to get. In other words, they came with an agenda, they came with a purpose, they came to get something from you, whether they know it or not, right? And the thing of it is, it has a lot to do with what has been kept secret. There was a lot of secrets in between you and them. Like what this person didn't know about you was how in tune you are with yourself, how in tune you are with spirit, how you're so spiritually guided. They just looked at you and they saw an innocent dum-dum that they could take advantage of. Little did they know that you come with the whole team, and that this spiritual stuff that you do is not just some woo-woo idea that you keep in your head. This is actually how you live your physical life. And as a result, you built a lot of stability in your physical life from it. This person thought that they just saw somebody who's, they're so nice. They're so nice, they'll be easy. No, they weren't. And so at the end of the day, like, you realize like what you did was purposeful, it was well-intentioned, you were accurate, and you're seeing some sort of evidence. I'm hearing you're seeing some sort of evidence of your level of awareness in this. Yeah, as you're moving forward on your new journey, and you're reconstructing. So in some sort of way, this situation is like it did a breakdown, yeah, and you had to rebuild some things, and I heard, and that's okay, because you have all the tools to do it, right? And now somebody else don't have no choice. They don't have no access. They don't have no ability to tap in, to be a part of, and here you are building something new. How much they would love to come and visit what you're building and come and be a part of it, but they don't have access to that anymore. Yeah. Part of the reason they don't have access to that anymore is because they were trying to control and manipulate in a situation in violation of spiritual law. In violation of spiritual law. This is why now we have judgment on the table. Like, there are consequences and repercussions for the things you do. If you violate spiritual law, you will see the consequences and repercussions of that too. But this person is seeing that now, and I feel like you already know that. That's why you move the way you do. Yeah. And so you're going to disappear from this person's life. They're not going to have access to you any longer. They don't get the privilege of being a part of what you're building. And yeah, you get to relax now. You get to relax now, because I hear the end of this thing. It was like waiting to see what was going to happen. It's like this person was hiding some behavior that they wanted to do. This person saw that you were going to win something. They saw that you were in a beautiful position of gains, of stability, of and then of prosperity. But they also saw this innocent energy of you. They were hiding some action that they were planning. What they didn't know is you was coming with your whole soul team, and the loyalty in you was a very big protection for you. Yeah, this person was celebrating a little bit too early. Yeah, and while they were still hiding the action that they were planning the whole time, this person was celebrating a little bit too early. They really thought they had you where they wanted you. Yeah, but and they did. They had a plan. They had a plan. They had an agenda. They took their shot. They swung their swing. And it's crazy because when they did that, your loyalty, it's like your red flags went off. The loyalty of your soul team, the loyalty of your highest self, of your future self, of the divine, of your truth. It's like it's like your soul strings were singing, but they weren't singing a tune of love or of harmony, of connection. They were singing out of whack, and you were like, what the heck is that? And it had something to do with an attack that you didn't see coming. Yeah, this person, they've made this attack on other people successfully many times. And, they just saw like, oh, I could really do well here. Like, you were a target. They targeted you. Yeah, they targeted you. They wanted to take what you had. They wanted to change their life by means of what you had to offer. And they were really shocked and surprised when, it's like if you could read the book of what they were planning, and yeah, you hit them with the 0-1-2, gave them that uppercut, and their lies, although you may not know exactly what they were, whatever, it's like they got caught red-handed. You might not even know that you caught this person red-handed, but you did catch them red-handed in some sort of way. And then they tried to defend themselves with their words. They tried to knock you around the boat. They tried to knock you off of your boat of your happiness, but that didn't work. They ended up rocking themselves when they did that, because what happened was you became, when those red flags went off, you decided, well, let me hold on. They're going to shoot their shot. I'm going to shoot my shot too. And you put up some boundaries. You started to, it's like I see somebody who's having a conversation with this person, and you pretend like you don't know shit, but you're just looking for what they're saying and what they're not saying. You stayed patient. You stayed peaceful. You didn't show no stress. You didn't show no fuss, right? You stayed stable. This person was tripping out because they're like, how can you stay stable? How are you so calm? How are you so unaffected when I've been doing this, that, and the other? It's like they thought they were going to irritate you. They thought they were going to get under your skin. That didn't work. You really shocked them, yeah? And so they kept working at it. They kept trying, right? Some of you, this happened at work. I see that. They kept trying. They kept working at it. And it's like the more they did it, all it did was solidify your awareness. And I see that you are just allowing a situation. You sat still. And I heard sit still and see the salvation of the Lord. And so you sat still and you allowed a situation to play itself out. And then you knew that on the other side of this was going to be greater freedom for you, that you were going to move faster. You knew that no matter what, if you were allowed to go through this experience, that it was going to serve your best interest. And if this person really thinks they're going to get over on me, like, little do they know that all that energy is actually going to support my goals. It's going to support my purpose. It's going to support my finances. It's going to support everything, because they're going to have the burden cast back to them, because what this person didn't understand is what they did to work against you automatically returned to them because of your level of trust in the universe and in yourself and your self-awareness. Okay, consequences and repercussions. They're going to have to live the lines that they painted over your life. because they were not painting no pretty lines. They were trying to duplicate an energy, so they tried to look a lot like you energetically, but intuitively, again, you saw something. Your spirit was like, we're not going over there, we're not going that way, because there's a problem over here. They're lacking, they're missing something. They're very insecure about something, but they're painting a false picture. Your soul could see that if you kept going in that direction, it was going to speedily take you down a path of danger, and I hear spiritual danger. And so you were guided to let go, but I heard, let the chips fall where they may. And trust in your well-being, stay confident in who you were, and that if the situation presented itself to you, it was for your well-being. No matter what the person's intention was, your soul, the divine, the universe was always conspiring in your favor, even in a situation where somebody thought they could get over on you. Yeah. And that eventually you would see everything you needed to, and you would have success from this, and it was going to catapult you even further to get what you truly desired, wished for, and were working towards. And yes, you're absolutely right. Something happened and you took appropriate action, elevating yourself, lifting yourself up over this experience for growth. Yeah. And you stopped allowing somebody to fish in your pond. You stopped allowing somebody to receive the benefit of your presence. Okay. This caused the upset to go back to them. They thought they were going to rope you in. They thought they were going to tangle you up. They thought they were going to cage you. They thought they were going to restrict you. And all they did was put themselves on their ass. Yeah. I see somebody trying to lasso you, and you're like this silver holographic Lamborghini, and honey, you can't lasso that. There's so much horsepower here. Yeah, there's too much horsepower here. And so, at the end of the day, like, you're at peace, you're happy. This is a confirmation for you that when anybody thinks that they can come up against you, compete with you, try to cause you to be in worry, try to cause you to feel hopelessness, regrets, or anxieties, or stress, like, you've got too much self-development in you. You got too much stability, and you're not afraid of taking a risk. You're not afraid of confronting what spirit presents in your life. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you know how to stay focused no matter what's coming up in your experience. And anywhere where you didn't, you're now better at it because of this experience, right? And so as you move on, you're ready for on to the next, on to the next. You're like, what else did the universe have for me that honors exactly who I am and where I am, my Empress energy? Yeah, because it's time for your gains, material gains, leveling up. Yes, you are approved, you are chosen, you are selected, you are respected. I heard in the physical and the spiritual realm. A lot of people just figured it out by what you put down. This is what I have for you at this time today. We read through all of this deck here, and I love this energy. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you got the confirmation that you needed. Keep your head up, baby. Move forward. Keep moving forward. Okay. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. I'll be back with another one immediately after this. Later, baby.